independence in 1960, Nigeria as a nation has had its fair share of challenges, ranging from a bloody civil war to different military dictatorships up until the return to democratic rule in 1999, being its fourth republic. However, having celebrated 26 years in quote of uninterrupted democracy, the questions continue to linger. What exactly are the benefits of democracy as reflected in the quality of life and in the welfare of the people? Is the situation even more desperate today than it was years back, with different social challenges, issues of insecurity and unemployment, hunger, inflation, and all of the social ills and vices that are being seen? What exactly has been the progress made over the years? Has Nigeria made progress in terms of building its human capital, especially when put side by side with the kind of human capital and natural resources that the country has? What exactly could be the Nigerian problem? Is it a problem of leadership or followership? A lot of Nigerians complain to be oppressed by their leaders, but the question will be, leadership, they say, is always a reflection of the followers. So are Nigerians accomplices in their own oppression? And if so, what exactly is the way forward? And how do Nigerians navigate ourselves out of this quagmire? Do Nigerians have a track record of picking bad leaders? Or rather, is it the bad leaders that have mastered the way of hijacking power and holding on to it perpetually and blocking the way for good people to access public office? What should the citizens do about this? I ask these questions not because I believe I have all the answers, but because I believe the answer ultimately lies with us as the citizens. When all is said and done, my message to us is this: fellow Nigerians, my dear compatriots, we must wake up and save ourselves.
I was having a conversation with a friend yesterday, and we talked about how human beings are not created to lead themselves. There are always leaders. Yes. And that's why there's supposed to be a process and a system to pick out those leaders. Right? And then those leaders, when you come forth to say, I want to be the governor, or I want to be the local government chairman, or councillor, whatever it is, you are taking on a responsibility to cater for my quality of life and the welfare of the people, like you've mentioned. Nobody forced you to come out to say, I am the leader. In fact, you campaigned to say you are the best person to do this job. Which was why last week when we were having a conversation and I was talking about Lagos roads and how uncomfortable it is, right? And one of the panelists said, oh, he was pretty much holding brief for Lagos State. That is a lot to govern Lagos State, you know. And my question is, why are you making these excuses?
With less than 3,000 square kilometers.
Why are you making these excuses? Because the man who is the governor at the moment and all the governors we have had, I don't think there's ever a time that we ever held a rally and carried something to somebody's house and say, please now, come and be our governor now. I don't think that has ever happened. Exactly. Right? You came out.
Of your own volition.
So whether the job is simple, nobody said leadership is simple. I mean, to avoid dragging this long, I would say that leadership is where our problem is. Yes. I always talk to the people, even people around me, myself. I talk to myself. I've done an advocacy about civil servants, right? And we speak through to power, we speak to everybody. However, leaders must take responsibilities to what's the word now? To steer the course of the nation. You cannot just think that things will fall in line because human beings gathered in one region and then it's working. That's not how it works. There has to be someone or some group of people who steer the course. Now, the question is, the people leading us now, where are they steering us to?
I became active in Nigerian politics in 2011. And I'm going to tell you this for free. There's something in us. You see, I keep on talking about DNA. Godliness with contentment is a great gain. There is something about us that is greedy, that is self-centered, both followership and leadership. Wow. However, where we are missing the point is this. Don't ever think that the election day, February 25, 2027, that's not the day I'm just saying, that is when you will change the narrative or that is when you pick your leader. No ways. As we speak now, what are Nigerians doing? They are dancing on TikTok. Meanwhile, the selection of the people that we go for election has started at the world level. You know what I'm talking about? The world level. On this table, how many of us are carrying card carrier for any party?
Card carrying members.
Yes. How many? That is where it starts from, sir. So you don't wait until campaign.
Yeah.
No. See, at campaign level, it's at Otilo.
It's already late.
It's already late.
And it's a daily process. Because the decisions they make affect.
Thank you. Do you go for meetings? Do you know if your local government? Do you know your local government chairman? Do you know your councillor? Do you know what happens in your domain? If you don't know, you have no right. I'm saying it. Quote me. You have no right to bash anybody on social media because when the process never compare.
No, you pay taxes. You have the right.
Listen, sir. Beyond tax, never. What's the English now? Never complain of the taste of the soup when you are absent to provide the ingredients in the kitchen.
Okay, let me give you an example.
Yeah.
Just this morning, I read a story about a local government in Lagos, which chairman had to, step down, and the son of Lagos State Speaker stepped in.
Agege local government.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So, how do we deal with that?
You deal with that because that was a game plan from the onset. Don't be surprised.
Okay, so just to give us an example of how leadership pans out in Nigeria, the helplessness of the people. You asked a critical question. You said, are Nigerians accomplices in their own oppressions? Yeah. We've done protests. We rise, we vent all the time. Which other channel is available to make our points clear without being criminal about it? Finally, I'm going to wear my glasses for this one.
Very important.
Finally, you said, you asked a question, and this is my answer. I said, we saved ourselves. Nigerians said yourself.
Yes.
So we saved ourselves by resolving to boreholes in the absence of running water by the government. We provide ourselves electricity in the absence seeing that the national grid is always collapsing. So we started buying solar power in homes and all of that.
I think we should change our coat of arms to a big adapter because we're very good at adapting.
Thank you.
Instead of confronting the issues, we would, keep pushing forward, and the politicians must really love the sort of people they govern. Because at the end of the day, we even clap for them for the little things they do, that they will still slap their names on a project that is financed with taxpayers' money. Peter, this is a very important advocacy you've raised, and unfortunately, look at us on a place at the table. Yeah. You've asked $1 million questions that even the world's biggest think tanks and institutes would have to deliberate for days, but would give it our best attempt. And Elsie is not, I like what she said, that you need to find leaders, because she doesn't believe in the people, to a certain extent, the people deserve the sort of governments they get. But you can't cheat nature. It's garbage in, garbage out. Look at Japan. In the middle of the tsunami, people still stood in line. Still had dignity. Look at South Sudan. I have a friend that works with the Norwegian Refugee Council. She told me that in the tent, displaced people in South Sudan, they still have some level of dignity, even in their state of not having anything. They will still offer you coffee. We have such an entitlement mentality in Nigeria. People are lazy. You don't even know where to start from. Until a critical mass of the people change their ways from within, we need a man in the mirror moment until we tell ourselves the hard truth, and until we have many people act right, Nigeria will continue in its present.
Peter, Peter, we must stop praising people. Yeah. People go to religious organizations and you are hailing them. Yeah. Politicians steal your money, they come to your street and you are clapping for them. Yeah. Now it is no longer jeep collector to jeep. You respect pastors according to the size of their jeeps. Now it is jeep collector to jeep. We must stop that nonsense.
So across board, we must preach accountability. Absolutely. I think it was the late literature professor Chinua Achebe who said things are falling apart and the center cannot hold. The question is, when the center caves, what happened to the components that should take stamina or stability from it? Everybody in Nigeria is struggling today because the centerpiece governance is not working. And trying to find your ways around it, getting boreholes, getting personal security is what has made the center continue to decay. Everybody must agree that you must fix leadership and most importantly, fix the process through which you get your leaders past, so you hold them accountable. If not, today's victims were yesterday's survivors, tomorrow's victims will be today's survivors, and it goes on and on. When we ask ourselves the questions and provide the answers from amongst us, from amongst ourselves, then we are ready to take ownership of our future.